Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Fletcher Nelson. I'm a 3rd grade teacher in Minnesota. And we're going into, I think, week 4, maybe 5 of hybrid learning. So let's see what we're up to this week. If you've watched my old videos, you also know that I had a student teacher, but her last day was Friday. So not only am I going into a new week, but this is also my first week this year not having a student teacher. It was so convenient having her for our switch to hybrid, especially. Just in general, she was awesome, but that was so nice because I could check their work and get everything ready while she was teaching, and having 2 people in here for hybrid was great. So we'll see how I do. We rearranged the room a little bit, not a whole lot, just because we obviously didn't need her desk anymore, so I changed that into a table for students. So I'll show you that, and then let's get into what we're working on this week in 3rd grade. All right, sorry, sunny coming through here is making the lighting awful. If you watch my previous videos, you know that I had her desk set up here. It had legs, it was scooted forward a little bit. I just took the legs off and lowered it down, and I can use these mats since they can be wiped off. So the kids were pumped about this area down here today. So this light was also over here from indoor recess, and there's a plug in there, so I did just leave that there in case, I don't know, why not? So I'm actually going to stack these over here. I also put it here because when I do read alouds, I like to sit down sometimes and lean against the wall, so I can sit here and lean against the wall if no one's sitting there that day or week or whatever. So they were pumped about that. Also, someone sat on the edge of it and then lowered this down and was using this today. So they're so creative with their options, seating options, and I love it. All right, let's get into what we're working on this week in 3rd grade. All right, for our read alouds, we're doing humorous texts. So today we read Bedhead, and tomorrow when they're at home, they'll listen to me read Those Darn Squirrels. So we're reading some humorous texts, which I love. For our mini lessons this week, we're focusing on plot. So today we talked about the high point and identified the high point in some previous books we've read, and then they also worked on them in their own books if they were reading a shorter book. And then when we read Bedhead, we also talked about it then. So that was what we did today on their next, so Wednesday. We're gonna do like a plot map, like identifying all the parts of plot. And that's kind of gonna lead into what we're doing for writing. So they're gonna be writing their own fictional narrative, and I'm really excited for these because I have some BareBooks that they're gonna use to be the author and illustrator of their own book. So we read Janelle Cannon books last week, and she is the author and illustrator for her books. So it was a good transition there because we could kind of talk about her and how they're gonna be doing that on their own. So being the author and the illustrator. So on today, they're kind of really gonna think about what they wanted their fictional narrative to be about, who they want the characters to be, the setting, and then they also were just thinking about like the beginning, middle, and end, what could happen, and then we'll create a plot map for it, or that's what they're gonna do tomorrow, and then they'll start drafting here. So I'll show you the BareBooks we're gonna use. All right, so I have 18 students, so I have 20 of these hardcover BareBooks. So we'll draft ours up this week, but then they'll get to actually create their book, and this is just obviously blank, so they'll get to, you know, write and create their own actual book. So I'm excited for them to do these, and I can't wait to see how they turn out, and I hope they're excited for it too. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna kind of plot out our map, do a rough draft, and then they'll do their final draft in here. All right, for math, we are starting multiplication. So today we talked about just the different ways to kind of represent and solve multiplication problems. So we talked about arrays, equal groups, and repeated addition. I obviously filled this in with them, but I did it on pieces of paper that were taped on here. That way I could just pull them off and fill this in again tomorrow with my second group. And then that'll be the group that I'll actually do it on there. So that was there. Behind this is our word study stuff. We're working on spelling patterns. We had some different endings here, some consonant blends at the end, vowel, then consonant blends. So they sorted those, and then we practiced, you know, just spelling them and thinking about other words that started with those, and just to make some connections among words. So that we're just going to continue working on spelling patterns, different spelling patterns this week, work on some multiplication. If you're in a hybrid model, you know it's hard to fit it all in. So for social studies, during our reading rotations, I'm incorporating some articles about different Native American tribes each day, and so we're learning about those. My plan is to trace just the outline of the United States here, and that way we can kind of start keeping track of where these tribes, where their land was before the United States, before their land got stolen from them. and just kind of keep track of what we learn about each of the tribes and maybe make some comparisons, how they were similar, how they were different. So that's kind of what we're doing for social studies. And for science, we're not really doing a whole lot right now just because I've run out of time. So once we finish this social studies unit and focusing on Native American tribes, then we'll hop into our next science unit. So we're just gonna do one at a time. We'll do a social studies unit, then a science, just kind of flip-flop back and forth. So that's what we got going on this week. Today's group did awesome with it all. They loved multiplication. They thought it was fun. They always get it. They always get the hang of it pretty quickly, you know, because it's really just addition, repeated addition. So that was good. And yeah, other than that, that's about all we did today. So same thing tomorrow as far as content and lesson wise go. And we'll see what this week brings. We have our night 2 of conferences on Thursday, virtual conferences. I had 12 of mine last week, so I'll have 6 of them this week. So I'm excited to finish connecting with families. And I thought I had my book there, but we are reading The Wild Robot Escapes, and we'll finish that tomorrow. So that's pretty exciting as well. All right, so that's what's going on this week in 3rd grade. I'll keep you posted with how things progress as the week goes on. And I will see you in the morning, or probably tomorrow afternoon. All right, bye. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's afternoon now. Like I said, same stuff was taught today as yesterday, so not a whole lot to cover there. I don't know, it was a good day. This morning started off, I forgot my wallet. I realized like halfway here, left it on the table, but I was like, it'll be fine. And then of course halfway through my gas light comes on, but I'll have enough gas to get home, we'll be good there. And I still wanted some McDonald's iced coffee because it's $2.18 and I had enough change in my cup holder. So I go through the drive-thru to do that, have my exact change counted out, and then the lady's like, oh, the person in front of you paid for yours. And like that never happens to me. So I was like, oh, I should do it for the person behind me. Except for theirs was like $5 and I only had like $2.80 in change. So I was like, ooh, sorry, thanks person ahead of me, and I can't pass it on. So I felt kind of bad. So I think my goal will be tomorrow, if someone's behind me in line, to buy theirs, since I didn't keep the chain going today. So that was fun. But otherwise, yeah, that was cool. It's 10 degrees and I'm still getting iced coffee, so it's fine. That's just how we're doing things. Anyways, since I don't have anything new that we taught today, I'm going to show you guys how I've been storing stuff to keep it organized for the upcoming days. And before I do that, my kids have not been great at finishing all of their stuff. Like, they always seem to forget 1 or 2 things. I've been making them their paper checklists. I don't want to put it to be more of a burden on parents because I know they have enough going on with childcare and this and that. So I decided to start doing class money. So it's not going to be every day for assignments that they're supposed to do. We kind of had that talk, like, guys, report cards are coming up, and kind of went through and like did like a little self eval and just reflected on how they thought they've been doing. And a lot of them realized like I'm just not putting in a lot of effort, or purposely maybe I'm skipping stuff. I have one student who is just awesome at bringing back his checklist. Things are crossed off and he's doing a great job. So I use that as an example, and I told him, like, you don't need to bring back that checklist, but he does, and I can see he's using it to cross things off. So just use the checklist. So I'm hoping more of them bring that back. But I did want that to encourage them to do more of the opportunities as well, just because I know parents said that they seem to have free time, and clearly I don't know what they're doing then. And again, I'm trying to help out the parents because I know they're busy. So I decided to come up with a class money. So I made some Reggie Bucks, my dog. Oops, it's blurry, you can't see that. Let's see if I can focus it. There we go, for a second. Oh, perfect. So I printed off some of those, and starting tomorrow for opportunity stuff, if they do it, they'll earn some class money. And every once in a while, I might do like the whole class, everyone got their stuff done, earn money. I haven't really thought it all out yet, but I'm gonna try doing that to motivate them to bring their stuff, since it looks like we're gonna be in hybrid at least through the end of 2020, and it's possible we go full distance, I don't know. So I'm gonna try to motivate them to start bringing back their work and do some of the extra opportunities I sent home. Okay, so now that we've covered that, let's move on to how I've been organizing some stuff. Obviously Monday and Tuesday are empty since I've had those kids, but Wednesday is group tomorrow, so I can grab all this stuff out. this is their required work, and I've been stapling it together. So they'll have their Friday, because they're working from home Thursday and Friday. So here's their Thursday checklist. This is what I was telling them, like physically cross it off on here that we don't forget something. This tells them exactly what to do for the day. This has all their worksheets stapled to it. I didn't always staple them, but now I am, just because kids seem to lose something. They say they can't find their math or whatever, so their word work's in there, their math sheet, everything they need for Thursday and Friday. And those will both go home in their folder tomorrow. Anything printed on pink paper is optional stuff, so they don't have to do this, but this is what I'm going to try to motivate them to want to do more by having the class money. So this pink sheet goes with this book that I printed off from Reading A to Z, and then this is just a review, addition, and subtraction worksheet. So these will be the 2 opportunities they could do to earn some class money. This is the required stuff. So I just have been putting those in the bins and stapling it with the checklist. That way tomorrow when they come in, I can hand them exactly what they need and they can pack it up so it's ready to go for the day when they go home. Okay, ignore the labels on these. This is how I'm storing my materials that I need throughout the day. So a copy of their checklist in case I forget what they're supposed to do. And then Friday's checklist. These will be the cards I need tomorrow for my word study lesson, their exit slips for math, and these are things that they're going to be gluing into their reading notebook to help them do it at home. And then this is the article we'll be reading during our reading rotations. So I just been stacking all my stuff in a pile, so now I can leave this out. I have all my stuff ready for tomorrow. These I'm probably just going to toss down here. Obviously been making extra copies of everything in case a kid loses it, so I just keep it all down there. So this has helped me a ton, just having it in a drawer and a pile together, because I'll do in the order I'll teach it to. So yeah. The last thing I do then is just make sure I'm ready for my read alouds. Tomorrow we'll read The Great Fuzz Frenzy. For word work, I will need the pocket chart backup, which I took down just for math. So I'm going to put that up because math is before word work. Sorry if that was loud. So this can just hang over the chart paper. Why isn't it fitting? Oh, there we go. The struggle. All right, so now I'm ready to go for tomorrow. Why does this happen? What is it doing? What? Okay, I'm so bad at cameras. Moving on. That's all I have for today. We also finished The Wild Robot Escapes, which is the second book for our read aloud. And tomorrow I think I'm going to start Holes, which is another one of my favorite ones to read. So yeah, other than that, we'll start some new stuff tomorrow. I'll kind of share at the end of the day what we did, and I'll catch you tomorrow afternoon. Okay, bye. Good evening. It's currently Thursday night at like 7:30. Totally didn't check in yesterday. I forgot. And we had our second night of virtual conference this night, and I am so tired. I only had 6 tonight because I had 12 last week. I only have 18 students, which was super nice. I had to get some stuff ready in between. Tomorrow's our full virtual day, so I recorded our read aloud for it. I got their templates and all their Seesaw stuff that'll go out ready. Almost all their stuff is paper and pencil, but I still always repost the directions on Seesaw, and I have our read aloud, which I posted to Seesaw, and then yeah, I did one word study thing on Seesaw, so I made that quick. So I did that in between conferences, obviously 8, so still was busy the whole time. It went fast, but I am so tired. I am, again, thankful we don't have students in person tomorrow after conferences, because I can just plan and, I don't know, just can kind of come here and just not, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be as fully on, because you're not going to be interacting with the kids. So I can be tired tomorrow. It's fine. What should I talk about? We've been reading humorous texts this week, and they have loved them. If you have never read The Great Fuzz Frenzy, this is the first time I read it. I don't know why I didn't read it last year. We can't always fit all the read alouds in every week, so sometimes we just skip them. And I probably just skipped it because I didn't think it looked as good as some of the others. But I read it this year. I read all of them, and awesome. My kids loved it. It was hilarious. It's funny. I don't know. Great Fuzz Frenzy. Definitely check that one out. And we always love Those Darn Squirrels, so they loved that one as well. That's one of my favorites. So those are 2 of their favorites. Moving into next week, where I already talked about like those BareBooks, I think. So I gave these They did their story map at home on their first at home day, and now tomorrow and Monday, or today and Monday, whatever days they're home, they are going to start working on their rough draft. So I'm really excited to see how, excuse me, I'm just tired, I'm a mess. I'm excited to see how their drafts turn out. I told them I don't expect them to finish them over the 2 days they're home, because they'll work on them tomorrow as well. I want them to really take their time. And I just kind of said, think about these humorous books. You guys loved them. What made them funny? And a lot of them said like the illustrations, the pictures were funny. So we talked about that. And some of the books only had one word on a page, but they had a big picture that took up both pages. So I told them that. I'm like, guys, you don't need to think you have to fill up your whole entire book with words. Use these illustrations that you guys thought were so funny to make yours. And I mean, not every one of them is making a humorous fiction book. Some of them have like an adventure or whatever else, but just illustrations are powerful. So we talked about how we can use those in there. So I can't wait to see what they come up with. We started multiplication. They've been doing awesome with that. We've just been doing arrays and repeated addition. And they always do well because it is just a repeated addition, but yeah, it's been awesome to see them kind of excited for it and confident in themselves. Subtraction in 3rd grade is always just hard, and no matter how many manipulatives you use, it's just one of those things that will always be kind of difficult for them. And you know, we have to keep revisiting it, and we will review it, but it's just not always, it's not their favorite. Where multiplication they think is fun. So that's been nice. It's been kind of good to have them excited and wanting to do math. So that part's been great. We also started holes yesterday, and it's tough because not every kid's on the Google Meet. So yesterday when they weren't on when we started, we kind of had to, you know, catch them and fill them in. But I don't know, I really like the book, and I'm gonna just keep filling them in if I have to. I thought about recording myself since it's just on Google Meets if they miss, but I just don't know when they would watch it before the next day anyways, so I don't think I'm gonna mess with that. I'll just keep filling them in and having the kids help me fill them in if they didn't happen to be on the day before. And I think it'll be one that they really enjoy. And there's obviously the movie. We always watch the movie to compare it because the book is always so much better. And we just found out yesterday we're gonna be going full distance right before Christmas break. I think it's like the 21st of December until January 18th is the plan. So our middle school and high school will be full distance. The high school has been, the middle school is going after Thanksgiving, and they're gonna hold elementary at hybrid, which I'm glad, until right before Christmas break. And then since they know people will be traveling, or winter break I should say, then we'll be full distance for those 2 weeks after winter break and after the new year there. So I think holes, if we can finish it before then, it'd be a fun way to celebrate our last hybrid day for each group, watching the movie at the end of the day. So that's kind of my plan. Finish the book by the time we're moving to distance. Otherwise, I mean, we talked about, like I said, the high point or the climax of books earlier this week for reading, and today we just talked about like the full plot map, coming up with, we didn't use like the terms like, you know, rising action and stuff. In our curriculum, it just starts with beginning, events, high point, and then end. So we just identified those in some books that we had read, and then we also did it for the Great Fuzz Frenzy, which you do need to buy, it's so good. Oh, this is awesome, and I found this on TikTok, and I am so pumped to use it when I'm prepping for hybrid stuff tomorrow. Some people are having their mind in the gutter with the shape of it, but I love it. Okay, this is a stapleless stapler. I don't know, I just think I'm pumped because I've been stapling their stuff together so they don't lose anything, and it's been driving me nuts when I run out of staples and have to go down to the workroom and get some. I have a bunch, you know, obviously, but it's just annoying. So watch this. It can do up to 10 sheets of paper. It was 12 bucks on Amazon. There were cheaper ones, but the cheaper ones only did up to 5 sheets. So you just slide it in. That's more than 10 sheets probably. Okay, so got it in there. Okay, got it in there. Now you have to just squeeze. And look at that. So the shape it makes, people have their head in the gutter, get it out. But like folds it, so like pushes it through and then folds it so they're stapled together. I should show you on loose paper so I can show you that it actually holds together. Okay. Slide, oops. Okay, slide it in. Boom. Look at that. How cool. Like, it holds it together really well. So I'm excited. then for me not to just have to go find Staples all the time. Like that'll be super convenient for making their small packets every day. So I'm excited. I'll link it in the description, but I think it's cool. I'm excited. Worth $12 in my opinion. Or if you only want to be able to staple paperlessly 5 sheets of paper, I think there's one for $5. Honestly though, I think that's about it. I'm tired, I want to go home and sleep. Tomorrow I'll be prepping for the next week, so I'll share what those plans are, except for we do have school next week. We have 2 days, so I'll see each group once, and then we have Wednesday's our virtual day. And then Thursday's Thanksgiving, and Friday we're off. So I'm gonna try to plan for those 2 days next week and the week after Thanksgiving, because I don't wanna have to do that over break. So if you can call it a break. Good morning, happy Friday. Friday after conferences. I'm actually not that tired so far, but I want to be very productive again. If you watched last week's video, you know I had like the most productive day of my life last Friday after conferences, so that's my goal again for today. And it's already off to a good start. I don't know what's going on with my McDonald's. That sounds really weird to say, but earlier this week, someone bought my stuff, my coffee ahead of me, and then I didn't have my wallet, and I only had enough change for my coffee, so I couldn't get the person behind me, so I felt bad. I had to end that. And then I was gonna buy it for someone the next day, but there was no one behind me in line. Today, someone bought my stuff again, which was cool. I was gonna get 2 iced coffees because someone on TikTok told me to get the app, McDonald's app, and they have a bunch of coupons every day. So today was a get a free coffee if you spend $1. So I was gonna get 2 iced coffees, so I did. Because we're gonna be productive today, right? So then I get up there to use my coupon. I'm so excited to use my first coupon, and they're like, oh, the person in front of you bought yours. I'm like, that's cool. That's awesome. But I wanted to use my coupon. No, I was appreciative. So then I did buy the person behind me this time. So instead of mine being $2, it's $9, but it makes up for last time. And it's fun because I feel like that just keeps going. I feel like the chain just obviously probably keeps going until there's a lull at the drive-thru. So it's kind of fun. I don't know what's been going on at McDonald's this week, but that's cool. I never really had that happen ever before, and now it happened twice in a week. So if you're watching this, maybe buy the person behind yours order. I don't know. It's kind of fun. All right, I have my whole class Google Meet at 8:15. We're gonna try doing a Kahoot. I try to teach them to split their screens this week so they can see the Google Meet, to see the question and their own screen. I know you can assign it where they do it on their own pace, but that's just not as fun. I want to try doing it all together. So we're gonna see how it goes this morning. And then we PLC virtually at 9. And after that, it's get stuff done time. So I'll keep you, updated with how things go. All right, end of the week check-in. So I got everything planned and ready for next week, the 2 days, and then Wednesday's a virtual day. We go all the way up. I'm sure most of you guys have the whole week off. Anyways, so I got all that stuff ready. I got almost everything for the full week. I just don't know what we'll be doing for sure for math, because I want to see how they do with multiplication on Monday and Tuesday, and that'll help me determine where we'll be that following week. So everything else, everything for next week I have in these bins. Just boom, 2 days. Oh, there's my hand. There we go, those 2 days. And then I have almost like all their checklists and stuff here ready for the following week. I put math sheet as their checklist. I just need to know what the sheet will be. So I didn't staple and make the packets because I don't know what the math sheet's gonna be yet. So anyways, other than that, this morning we did a Kahoot. It was, like I said, we practiced splitting our screen. Almost everyone remembered how. So I did one on our vocab words that we've wrote down in our notebook so far. That's the Kahoot we did this morning, and I just read them out loud as well. So if there's 2 kids who couldn't figure out how to split their screen again, so they could still hear the answers and participate, and it worked fine. And they wanted to do another one this afternoon. So I read to them in the afternoon. So normally I read for about 25 to 30 minutes because they always want to keep going on the chapter. But today I read for probably about 15 minutes, and then we did 2 Kahoots. So we did the first one. It was the same one this morning because there's still the one student who couldn't figure out how to get their split the screen, because I would have done a review one for science, but it has pictures on it, so they'd have to be able to see the image for that one, where the vocab one I can just read them off. So we did that one again, and then a few of them wanted to do another one, so I think 10 of them stayed on to do one more, and I had one from the beginning of the year about myself, so we did that one again just to see what they remembered, and they actually did really good on it. So Kahoot worked well. They want to try Quizlet, so I told them we would practice breakout rooms when they're at school. That way I can practice putting them in there, because in Quizlet Live, you know, they'll be with their team, so I'd have to make breakout rooms quick so they can communicate about the questions and their answers. So that'll be next up. But Kahoot worked well. I had 2 computers, or 2 laptops. I had my personal laptop and then my Chromebook, and I had both. That way when I shared my screen on the Kahoot, I could still see their faces, and on the other one, I guess I didn't really need to, but I don't know, it was just kind of fun to be able to see their reactions, and that way if any kids had their hand up or whatever else, or if I needed to mute anybody, or I can't unmute them, but if I needed to mute anybody, I could. So having the 2 laptops there, I had my volume on the one where I was seeing their faces, of a volume, and that one muted, and I had the volume up so we could hear the Kahoot music, and that's one where my mic was on too, so they could hear me reading it. So I don't know, if you are distance or hybrid and haven't tried it, I'd say do it. It worked well, they had fun with it, and I'll definitely do it again. For our short week next week, I'm going to read them The Magician's Hat. This is by Malcolm Mitchell, former NFL player. He has a really cool story. There's an interview I always like to show my students. He wasn't the best reader when he went into college, and so he decided to put as much work into reading as he did football. And he ended up joining a book club with a bunch of like middle-aged women, and they just he ran into one of them at Barnes & Noble and got talking, and he asked if he could join her book club. And just kind of talks about how that's his biggest accomplishment, is being a good reader now, and enjoying it. He said football always came easy to him, so being a reader is his biggest accomplishment. That's what the interview talks about. And then the Magician's Hat kind of talks about just how a book can take you anywhere. So the magician pulls out everything, and just kind of about how you can find a book about anything. So if this girl wants one about fixing in teeth, and she gets it, and yeah. So good book, recommend it. I'm gonna read that one and show them the interview with Malcolm Mitchell on Monday. I'm gonna record myself, because we've been talking about plot and setting. So I'm gonna record Jumanji for them to listen to as one of their books. And then on Wednesday, when we're virtual, we read Those Darn Squirrels last week as from our curriculum. I have this one on my own, Those Darn Squirrels Fly South, so I'm going to read that one to them as well. So yeah, we're going to keep working on our rough drafts of our fictional narratives, because they'll be making their own book here, being the author and illustrator here, whenever they're ready. They're taking their time on that, like I said, so I don't expect them to be done anytime soon. And yeah, with that short week, we'll just kind of see where that takes us into December. So thanks for tuning in this week, and I will still upload something next week, even though it's a short week. I'll talk about what we do those 2 days, and maybe go through the rest of my plans for that following week, or prepping it or whatnot. So I don't know. We'll figure that out. That's future Fletcher's problem, but there'll be something. So as always, thanks for tuning in. Like and comment and subscribe, because I'm supposed to say that, I guess. So see you next time. Bye.